Last week at Mortal Kombat inside the Elimination Chamber, I thought that I would be more than ready for what I was about to go up against, even though the week prior I was in a tag team match against The Family, where I kept getting dropped onto my back again and again, and it hurt. I spent the last few days leading up to the PLE in pain, and I still thought I was going to be more than ready for everything inside the chamber. And then I saw Dylan Young making his way out to the ring, attacking one of my competitors backstage, and forcing his way into an opportunity that he did not earn. Dylan, I had respect for you. I thought you were above using those disgusting, underhanded tactics. If you were trying to get a rematch of the world title, I would have been more than happy to give it to you. But nope. You didn't have any patience, and you had to stick your nose in my business while making everyone else who qualified for the Elimination Chamber match collateral damage. Congratulations, you just made yourself a powerful enemy. Now, I owe you a huge receipt. At some point in the future, you and I will see each other again. And I don't care whether either of us has the title or is defending it. When it comes to me holding the Triwizard World Championship, it's bigger than me. But when it comes to what happened last week, this is personal. And I'm going to make sure that I teach you a lesson you will never forget.
The air, gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE with FWE. FWE with FWE. FWE with battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
Mortal Kombat in the rearview mirror, Paramount on the horizon, 28 days until the showcase of the Immortals. Welcome inside the Fantasy Dome, everyone. I'm Seth Cole alongside of the Triwizard Champion, Jack Mitchell. And Jack, we'll get to the fallout of Mortal Kombat here in just a few moments. But one woman that was successful in a match that we've never seen before, a debut match of Gotham Rules, Harley Quinn, gonna kick off the night.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Harley Quinn has to say here. As you said, we're only 28 days, so the road to Paramount is officially beginning now. Like, this is the last run up to our biggest show of the year. Saw Harley Quinn inside that Gotham Rules match at the PLE last week.
Took on Ariel for the hardcore title. Defeated her pretty easily as well. I mean, it got to a point where, I don't know, we can maybe almost call it disturbing, as several times locked inside of Gotham's gate. Ariel just never seemed to be able to get out of the blocks. A dominating victory for Harley Quinn as she recaptures the hardcore title.
Not as dominant as it could possibly get. Let's see what the hardcore champ has to say.
FWE Universe. It would appear the inmates are now running the asylum. Here I stand before you, still your FWE Women's Hardcore Champion. But I don't want to just sit around admiring this belt all day. I want some fun. I want some action. I want to hear the screams of my victims as I lock them in Gotham's Gate, squirming for breath, So, I'll make this simple, ladies. Gotham rules. Hardcore title. You want it, come and get it.
Well, that seemed pretty succinct to me. I mean, we didn't even have this on the card, but it sounds like the Women's Hardcore Champ throwing out an open challenge here, putting the title on the line.
That would indeed appear to be the case, and it sounds like Jessica Shelton is the one who's accepted the open challenge.
No hesitation here. Immediately the title offered to the women's roster, and Jessica Shelton, who we saw be the surprise teammate to Autumn Brooks just last week at Mortal Kombat for the women's tag team titles, going to have an opportunity here at singles gold.
Yeah, definitely came out of nowhere, but I mean, that's kind of been the vibe as we get closer and closer to Paramount. We've kind of had all these matchups start to form and all these title pictures start to take shape. This is the latest one here. The Women's Hardcore Championship going to be on the line out of nowhere to start tonight's show.
For those that didn't tune in to Mortal Kombat, if you have no idea what a Gotham Rules match is, basically in layman's terms, it's a 10-minute Iron Woman match. Basically anything goes, no countouts, no disqualifications, falls count anywhere. Whoever has the most pinfalls or submissions at the end of 10 minutes ends up winning. Now, we do also have to bear this in mind. We talked about this back at Mortal Kombat as well. If it ends in a tie, it is champion's advantage. So for the challenger, Jessica Shelton, the goal is clear. You have to be at least one fall ahead of Harley Quinn to win the title. You cannot win it on a tie.
From Columbia, South Carolina, Jessica Shelton! And her opponent from New York, the Women's Hardcore Champion, the Psycho Harley Quinn!
And again, this is an impromptu hardcore title match. Harley Quinn issuing the challenge, Jessica Shelton answering, and that kicks off our evening here. 1 week removed from Mortal Kombat, and with no further obstructions on the road to Paramount, here we go. Ariel did not fare that well against Harley Quinn inside of Gotham Rules. Let's see what Jessica Shelton's able to do here in only her second match in FWE.
Oh, a spear right into the turnbuckle as this thing gets underway. You see the 10-minute timer on the top right of your screen. It'll indicate how much longer is left in this matchup. And like you said, Seth, most pinfalls or submissions wins it. No countouts, no DQ. Falls count anywhere as well, so Ernest Wright's going to have to pay a little bit more attention, follow the action throughout the arena.
Harley Quinn, hardcore champion here for the first time in FWE. Holding that title belt, a former two-time female fighting champion. We saw that title change hands inside of the Elimination Chamber 1 week ago. Shigo now holding that title for the very first time, and a little opportunity here as well to talk about some of the other happenings inside Elimination Chamber. We saw your very passionate promo before we came on the air here. Of course, as people may have noticed, as I introduced you here tonight, no longer holding that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, that currently in the possession of Harry Potter, but one individual playing a key part into you not leaving with that title belt 1 week ago.
Yeah, absolutely, and he has a match later tonight, so I'll probably get into that a little bit more when we see that go down, but, you know, I think I'll turn my focus right now to what's happening in the ring is Jessica Shelton on the offensive here.
You and me both kind of hoping that tonight maybe a little justice is paid out, and I'll explain why for me when we eventually get to that matchup, as it will be a no disqualification match between Dylan Young, the former Triwizard champion, and one member of the Black Pearl crew, and William Turner as bridges into the pin and going to kick out at one. Referee Ernest Wright took a little bit of time getting there to that cover. That may not have been a 3, but it certainly would have been close.
Yeah, it absolutely was pretty close, although I think Jessica got dropped under that stop sign a little bit when Harley Quinn kicked out, so something to keep in mind. Is now going for some kind of armbar.
Got an armbar locked in there, and Harley going to roll through. Nice job, reversal there. Wow, nice into the head scissors there.
Jessica already looking like she's got more offense than Ariel ever did in that matchup last week.
But here's the thing I'd be worried about here. Obviously, you know, as mentioned, this is the second match that Jess has had here in FWE. We've talked about her career over in our partners over there at YEW. Very storied career there, but I don't know. With the fact that this is a Gotham rules match, this is obviously an environment that Harley Quinn thrives in. And you mentioned about that matchup against Ariel. It seemed like when the action went to the outside of the ring, that's when Harley was able to gain the advantage. So I almost wonder if you're the challenger, Jess, here, if you might want to get Harley back inside the squared circle, because this is what Harley can do on the outside. It's a twist of hate.
Absolutely. Look out now if you're Jessica.
Spike. DDT into the floor. Not much padding out there with the carpeting concrete underneath. And kick out at 2.
Oh my goodness. Well, Jessica definitely didn't expect that, but she quickly responded to that 2 count. Now sent to the other side. She set up a ladder ringside on the other side of the apron over there, so I'm wondering almost if the action will head back over in that direction at some point.
Jess with almost an arm drag monkey flip there. Combination of 2 moves is now going back underneath the ring. What else is there? Oh, the baseball bat that she came to the ring with. Oh gosh.
The dreaded baseball bat, and she gets tossed right back to the other side. Ringside is basically Harley Quinn's playground, especially in this match type.
Still to come later tonight as well. Matter of fact, I believe immediately following this matchup, we're going to be determining the new #1 contenders for the women's tag team titles. We saw Belle and Rapunzel successfully defend those title belts 1 week ago at Mortal Kombat against Autumn Brooks and Jessica Shelton. We understand they will be defending those titles at Paramount, but there are 8 teams that are going to be in a tournament-style matches from now until the go-home show to determine who the next ones will be to fight for those titles at the Showcase of the Immortals. It's a nice snap suplex and float over into the cover. Remember, no rope breaks in this type of a matchup, even though Jess's foot was underneath that bottom rope, and a kick out at 2.
Kick out at 2 there, and then action has made its way back into the ring. That doesn't seem to have affected Harley Quinn just yet. Going to work with those chops. Tosses her opponent right back to the ring mat.
Interesting point of note here. I don't know if it means anything, but I think around this time, Harley already had, what, a 2-0, 3-0 advantage over Ariel? We're halfway through this matchup, and we're still knotted up at 0 on the scoreboard.
Oh, she had a lot of ground to cover there, and nobody was home.
Now Jess with an opportunity here. Again, remember, Jess has to have at least 1 pinfall or submission over Harley Quinn for the title to change hands. If it stayed 0-0 to the end, Harley would still retain with the champion's advantage.
Look out, we got a table ringside.
Oh, we did. Oh, jawbreaker.
Briefly had it over there, and now maybe trying to look for some more weapons, but that ladder's in the way, and now Jess going for the armbar.
Got that armbar locked in again, trying to get Harley to tap out, and Harley again going to find a way out. Interesting here, Jess going for the submissions. We saw a number of the pinfalls and submissions that Harley had in the match against Ariel were due to that Gotham's Gate, forcing Ariel to tap out multiple times. So maybe here's a cover in by Jess to take a pinfall up on Harley, and Harley going to kick out at 2. But maybe Jess kind of trying to beat Harley at her own game, administering the submissions as well.
Maybe. We're already down to only 4 minutes left in this matchup. Still no pinfalls or submissions for either competitor. And, you know, if you're Harley Quinn, I almost wonder maybe you want to drag this out as long as you possibly can, because if it stays scoreless, you retain the title. Kind of like baseball in a sense. Like if you're the away team, you have to be leading in the 9th inning.
See Jess, it looks like she's continuing to target that left arm there, trying to hyperextend, maybe the shoulder or the elbow. We've seen her put in the armbar submission on that arm twice now, as Harley, looking for another twist of hate on the outside, but doesn't go for the cover. Interesting.
Thought about going for a weapon. Maybe you're going to go for the other side. Like I mentioned, the ladder's in the way. Here comes the steel chair. This is not going to be pretty. Not that a Gotham Rules match ever is.
We saw what she did with a steel chair against Ariel 1 week ago, but Jess, again, the resilience, back to her feet, delivers the drop kick after getting hit with a twist of hate and a steel chair shot. Oh! Lower back on that stop sign.
And you keep seeing everybody go over to that one side of the ring, that left side of the ring, trying to look for a weapon, but the ladder's in the way, and now...
Uh-oh. Oh, another spike DDT. The crowd chanting for one more time, but that may be the one that Harley needed. Gets the pinfall victory here, and now up 1-0. Just in less than 2.5 minutes, has to find at least 2 pinfalls or submissions.
I feel like she's come a lot closer than Ariel did last week,
yeah.
but definitely going to be a tall order.
Snap suplex there on the outside.
It's a good start. So is that knee drop to the head. Oh.
Harley playing possum, kick to the side of the head. And now Harley back in control.
Be careful where you toss your opponent around. You don't want to take out the referee and prevent him from counting out a pinfall or
Kendo stick
submission.
shots here from Harley Quinn. And now if you're Harley, kind of like we saw in the latter half last week in the Gotham Rules match. Oh, hold the phone! Submission locked in! Submission locked in here by Jessica Shelton. Is Harley going to tap out? Well, she can't really tap out. She'd have to verbally submit here. And it looks like Jess may have released the hold.
Just barely, but just trying to do her best to stay on the offense. Harley maybe had a window to counter and didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, right now I think it's all about timing. If you're Jess, you got to keep your foot on the gas pedal. You have to be all offense here. If you're Harley, if you can find an opening, you can maybe try and drag this thing out and take a 1-0 victory.
Even a 1-1 tie would be enough for the champion to
Great point.
retain. So,
Oh, what a
big
spin
kick.
heel kick. That has got to tie it up. Just into the cover. And Harley kicks out at 2. Just can't believe it.
I think that might be it, honestly.
That has to be.
I don't know how you're going to find 2 quick pinfalls and submissions in under a minute.
Well, Jessica Shelton answered the open challenge. She has put up quite a fight here. 1-0 advantage for Harley Quinn. 30 seconds remaining. Harley might be looking to put this one to bed here. Oh, she's setting up for another spike DDT. She is.
Good night.
And if this is a 3 count, this is absolutely over. It was a possibility that Jess could tie it up, but this now completely puts it outside the realm of possibility. Harley with Gotham Rules, open challenge tonight. 10 seconds left on the clock, going to retain the title. But what a war in our opening matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, props to Jessica Shelton for showing up, answering the open challenge. She absolutely did her best. Maybe we get a rematch between these two at some point in the future, but man, Harley Quinn in these Gotham Rules matches.
And still, Women's Hardcore Champion, the Psycho Harley Quinn.
And you gotta feel, so long as Harley holds the title, it will probably be defended inside of Gotham Rules matches. Every single time she puts that title on the line. What an opener. And up next, we take one step closer to determining #1 contenders for the women's tag team titles. Well, we welcome you back here to FWE. We were supposed to have a women's tag team match here, but looks like plans have changed. The former Intercontinental Champion, Michael Norman, has made his way out to ringside.
Very curious, but he has to stay here. He's been operating in the shadows for quite some time in charge of the family.
I think it's been pretty clear that the last few weeks have not been the greatest for me. I'm pretty ticked off about it. All this frustration, getting taken out on gotta take it out on somebody. You know, see, I can't even talk. That's how frustrated I am at this. Like, someone's gonna get their freaking heads ripped off. That freaking general manager back there is listening to me. I don't care who it is. It could be Bigfoot for all I care. Send them out there. I'm gonna pound them into the freaking ground.
Well, Michael's been on a bit of a losing streak as of late, but
Hang on a
hold the
second
phone.
here. That's Anthony McCreary. Michael's teammate in the family faction, one half of the Disney Tag Team Champions, as you see. Not entirely sure why he's coming out to try to talk to Michael Norman here.
You see the look on Michael's face too, quite perplexed. I think it's the last person he expected to be coming out here to ringside. I mean, we mentioned Michael's been on a losing streak. He lost the Intercontinental title before we got to Royal Brawl. He wasn't able to capitalize on the title shot against Dylan Young when we got to that pay-per-view, and then in a 2 out of 3 falls rematch against Robbie Gilman for the IC title, he was on the losing end of that. So I think for Michael, he was maybe trying to get himself back in the win column here, but the appearance of teammate Anthony McCurry, and looks like Anthony's going to grab a microphone. This will be interesting. A little inner circle meeting maybe with Faction
Michael, mi papi. Look, man, I get that you're frustrated, all right? I get it. We've all been there. You've got a lot on your plate. You lost the Intercontinental Championship, and you failed to win the Tri-Wizard title, and that's kind of funny considering that, I thought you were supposed to be. I will get to that anyway. And you know what? Probably isn't the time to mention it right now, but I haven't been able to talk to you until now. You see, the guys and I, we've been talking,
Wait, what do you mean by talking?
Well, first off, when we made this faction, it was under the assumption that we would be, kind of working together, to take over this company. And the funny thing is, it seems like Matt, Cole, and I we've got each other backs. We've been doing most of the work, but it seems that you haven't. Let me explain real quick. You never come out to support us in any match, right? You've never shown us any appreciation for bringing championship gold to the family. And to top it all you've done is go off on your own path, completely ignore what was supposed to be our overall goal, so...
All right, stop. Just stop. Let me see if I got this right. So because I tried to stay laser focused to capture the biggest prize in this company, because I wanted to make sure that we had absolutely no distractions, that makes me a bad person, a bad leader? May I remind you that before I even brought you into this family, I was the only one with gold around my waist. Until I took you and Cole in, you were sitting on the sidelines, sitting at catering, just begging to be part of the show. Until I took Matt in, he was busy wasting his time fighting some stupid elf. Without me pressuring FWE administration, we would have never had won the match at War Games, giving us all opportunities at championships. So don't talk to me about loyalty.
All right, okay, all right. I'll give you that one, okay? You did help our careers when we agreed to align with you. You kind of did, push us up, and for that, it's fine, utmost gratitude. I don't think there's anybody who would disagree with that. But now it seems that we've upgraded to no longer being your cohorts. We're no longer your henchmen. If anything, we're kind of on the same playing field as you now, man,
You're talking about being equal? That's funny coming from you. I'm still the leader of this faction, and I always will be.
Hear that? He's the leader. You hear that, everyone? He's the leader. Cool. Where's your title at?
Oh, gosh!
Oh!
Well, it appears that maybe Anthony may have taken a step too far, and now Michael Norman has snapped.
Michael Norman taking clear exception to the fact that Anthony was questioning his leadership in the family, brought up the fact that he is the only one in the family without any titles, is now dropped onto his back.
Massive power bomb there from Michael Norman to Anthony McCurry, and it would appear that there are some cracks in the family. Anthony trying to fight back, and Michael Norman now just going to toss him up over the top rope. Well, we're going to have to see how this all plays out, as apparently some issues have started to occur inside of one of the most dominant factions here in FWE. We'll be right back after this.
People have doubted me since day one, saying I was just riding on the coattails of the crew. But then I showed them. I won Money in the Bank. I cashed it in. I became the FWE Women's World Champion, and I have successfully defended it night after night. Now I head into my toughest match yet, to perform under the bright lights of FWE Paramount, with one of the toughest women on the roster ready to do anything it takes to win my title. Believe me, I do not take Moulin lightly. But I also feel that every match I've gone through has me well prepared. So now I focus up, keep a wary eye on the horizon and see the task before me. I will walk into Paramount with this belt, and I will be walking out still your FWE Women's World Champion.
We welcome you back inside of the Fantasy Dome. We're still trying to process what we just saw. Seems like tensions are starting to get awfully high as we draw closer to Paramount here, Jack.
Absolutely, Seth. I mean, this is the most dominant faction in FWE history, and they've kind of taken a bit of a turn for the worse, if you will, as we saw what happened during the commercial break. Michael Norman lying Anthony McCurry on top of our announce desk, and then it gets even worse as he has him up, setting him up here for some kind of powerbomb, and bam, there goes our announce desk. Michael Norman clearly very frustrated, but I mean, Anthony McCurry brought up a lot of great points about how he's kind of been the one with all the momentum on his side. Michael Norman hasn't really done a whole lot, hasn't really supported his partners. We've been talking for weeks basically about how there's been so much tension seeming to brew potentially in the family, and it looks like it all finally came to a head tonight.
Getting ready here for women's tag team action here in this little mini tournament that we're having to determine who'll be the number one contenders for Paramount. The only question I would have for you is two things. Number one, airing it out here in front of the FWE universe rather than doing it behind closed doors, plus the fact that he go maybe one step too far. I mean, mention about Michael's been on a losing streak. The frustration is there. Did he maybe prod the bear with a stick one too many times?
I mean, you have to think maybe he did, but I just wonder, what's going to happen now, because obviously these two aren't going to let that situation go as easily as you might think.
It's also going to be interesting maybe further down the road to, end up finding, the opinions from Cole Eastwood and Matt McIntyre. I mean, obviously Anthony seemed to be the spokesperson for the group there, but we've yet to really hear either of those speak for themselves, especially after what just occurred. What have they got to be thinking backstage?
I can only wonder. One can only wonder what it's like to be a fly on the wall backstage sometimes. So we'll jump into this tag team matchup here. I don't want to take anything away from this. It's a big one. You got two members of Mystery Incorporated going up against Team Let It Go. Winning team moves on in this little mini tournament to compete for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles at Paramount.
We talked about this back at Mortal Kombat when the tag team titles were on the line. 5 teams have held the women's tag team title belts here in FWE. These are 2 of them, Team Let It Go and Mystery Incorporated. Opportunity, if either one of these teams are able to move on to the finals of this tournament and go to Paramount to maybe make history as the first women's team to hold the tag team title belts twice in their FWE careers.
That's a great point. I mean, we've seen those Disney Tag Team titles change hands time in, time out, so I'm almost curious to see if we get our first, or who our first 2-time champions are going to be.
This has been a night of unpredictability here, 1 week removed from Mortal Kombat, just a mere 28 days away from the showcase of the Immortals at Paramount. We kicked the evening off with an impromptu hardcore title match, Gotham Rules, Jessica Shelton taking Harley Quinn to the limit, but Harley with a 2-0 victory retains the title. And then just moments ago, Michael Norman, Anthony McCurry having it out here in front of the FWE Universe as a nice knee from the top rope there by Daphne, looking for the cover on Elsa to advance in the tournament and a kick out at 2.
Took Elsa a little bit longer than I thought to kick out of that one, but she stays in the fight. And, you talk about the unpredictability we've seen tonight. We've got a no-holds-barred match in our main event, so it's only going to get even more chaotic.
Absolutely is. We'll also let everybody know here as well that these tag team matchups here for the women's #1 contendership, they're going to be taking place every Thursday night as well on a few of the Saturday nights on FWE Extra. So be sure to tune into those episodes as they occur here down the home stretch to Paramount. The finals will take place in the Go Home show 1 week from Paramount.
trying to get the momentum back in her favor, but there goes Elsa back to the offensive. Irish whip. Punch to the gut. Now sent into the corner.
In terms of the drought of who has not held the tag team titles the longest, it would have to be Mystery Incorporated. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Team Let It Go that actually won the title belts from Mystery Incorporated as they defended those title belts in a triple threat tables match. As here's the cover in by Elsa on Daphne and a kick out at 2. Team Let It Go, if I'm not mistaken, lost the title belts then to Kim Possible and Shigo. Of course, Shigo now the new female fighting champion.
Shigo, of course, winning that Elimination Chamber match to do so. Couple big kicks by Elsa. I can't remember. I don't believe Anna's been tagged into this match just yet, but Elsa in full control right now. I think Daphne was trying to work her way back to her team's corner to try to get a hot tag. Didn't quite work out.
Now Elsa gonna bring Daphne over to enemy territory. Daphne realizing the situation, fights out with the elbows. Oh, nice kick there. Disaster kick with those heels.
I think she might have taken a little bit too long, though, playing up the audience, and that was all the moments hesitation that Team Let It Go needed to tag Anna in, but now Anna down to the ring mat.
Big palm strikes there from Daphne. Elsa to her feet, and now referee saw Ernest Wright administering what would have been a 5 count. It would have been disqualification if Elsa had not left the ring. Within that count of 5, Irish whip off the ropes. Whoa, went for the Superman punch, and nice dodge there by Anna.
Maybe went a little bit too early.
Look
Sent
out,
right
ref.
into the referee. Ernest Wright, get out of the way.
Wrong place, wrong time there for Ernest as, oh wow, nice knee up under the jaw here by Daphne. Now cutting off the ring. Opportunity to maybe be able to tag Velma into this matchup as she delivers Anna's face into the turnbuckle.
Anna's in the wrong spot. You see they're setting up for another tag team finisher here. Look out.
Flying shoulder tackle there with a little extra air on the assistance. Anna with the hot tag to Elsa. Might want to turn around, Velma.
Oh, she does just in the nick of time. Big DDT. Both members of Team Let It Go are down for the moment. Anna's got to get out of the ring, which she does.
Kick, back fist. Shining wizard-like knee by Elsa, and Velma quickly back up to her feet, back in control. Almost ineffective.
Momentum going back and forth in this one here. Can't really get a sense of who's been dominating this one so far because really neither team has. Huge kick though. And Elsa, you might want to try thinking about doing something to finish your competitor off, and I think she had the right idea in mind there going over to her team's corner because the further away you do it from your other team's corner, from your opponent's corner, that makes it less likely for somebody to come into the match and break up a pin.
8 teams in the running here for this. Whoa, big kick there. Big pump kick from Anna. 8 teams in the running here for the #1 contendership. Opportunity here for Team Let It Go or Team Mystery Incorporated to move on to the quarterfinals. They'll wait to see whoever wins this, who they're going to be facing off against. Is nice spinning forearm there by Anna. Velma down and out, at least for the moment. Team Let It Go currently in control. Nice suplex into the bridge. And Daphne, realizing that could have been it, in to break that up immediately.
Daphne was very quick into the ring to try to break that one up. You see Elsa trying to deal with that, and now stunned in the corner. Down to her feet. If you're Elsa right now, you want to get her out of the ring as quickly as you can. The 2 legal participants are outside the ring.
Referee Ernest Wright having to be aware of that here. I believe that Elsa and Daphne are tied up here on the other side of the ring as well.
It's kind of a curious situation for a tag team match. The 2 legal participants are currently outside the ring. The 2 illegal participants are currently inside. So you would think there should be 2 different countouts going on right now.
Daphne is down, as you can kind of see there in the background. Elsa has made her way back to her position on the apron. And the referee just now giving the 1 count. I think he was more focused on what was going on inside the ring, which gave Anna more opportunity to do some damage on the outside, but Velma able to get the quick tag here to Daphne. But how fresh can Daphne be? We saw her laid out in the ring just moments ago.
And I think Anna knows that. She's trying to take full advantage of it. Velma's got to get out of the way, got to get out of the ring. Huge forearm.
And I've just been told here, Jack, that everybody's going to want to tune in on Saturday night, FWE Extra. Some really interesting things going to be taking place. We're actually going to be determining a new #1 contender for the United States Championship, an 8-man battle royal. Also, the man who took the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship off of you inside of the Elimination Chamber, Harry Potter. We'll be hearing from him on Saturday night.
A very interesting show on Saturday night, to say the least. I'm looking forward to it. Battle Royal match for a #1 contender match never disappoints, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Currently in the possession of Matt McIntyre, member of the family, and there's going to be a lot of questions leaving tonight as to what the status is of that quartet after we saw a major fallout in more ways than one between Michael Norman and Anthony McCrory earlier on tonight. Michael Norman with an attack on Anthony, not only a powerbomb in the ring, but destroying our announce table out here at ringside as well.
Yeah, definitely, those two are not going to let what happened tonight go. Unlike Team Let It Go here, they're trying to not let go of this
like
match. Huge punch to the gut. On the forearm. Elsa setting up to put this thing away. Gotta be mindful, though, that Daphne is right there to break up any possible pin or submission.
Hoisting Velma up, gonna hit the reverse GTS in the wrong corner, however, to your point, and immediately Daphne there to break it up.
Also trying to get Daphne out of the way, but missed on that punch, and she'll head back outside the ropes.
Well, big forearm there from Daphne. Elsa kind of trying to do all the work here herself. Flatliner to Daphne. And big kick! That could be it. Daphne is down. No one to save Velma after the massive super kick. And Team Let It Go is moving on.
Talk about how back and forth this matchup had been going, but the further along it got, it felt like Team Let It Go had maintained the momentum. That'll do it.
One step closer to Paramount for Team Let It Go as they look to reclaim the women's tag team titles. They will wait to see who their future opponents will be in the quarterfinals. But up next, it's a no-holds-barred match based off what happened last week at Mortal Kombat. Welcome back, everyone. Main event here tonight in the fallout of what occurred at Mortal Kombat inside the men's Elimination Chamber match.
It's a no-holds-barred match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Crew from London, England, weighing in at 190 pounds, William Turner.
Now, I know, Jack, that it's going to be a little bit difficult for you as far as being unbiased in this matchup. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try and do my best to be as objective as possible, but it's going to be difficult for me as well. I admire William Turner for stepping up here in this matchup. If he hadn't, I probably would have myself. For people that aren't aware, Jack Sparrow, he has been maybe one of the top 5 longest tenured wrestlers here in FWE. He was one of the first to be signed, one of the cornerstones of this industry. Had an opportunity to be able to fight in Elimination Chamber for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. He was attacked backstage, never got a chance. This was the man who it was revealed led that attack, took his spot inside Elimination Chamber. Hopefully tonight, William Turner can lay out some true justice.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just going to straight up say it.
Oh my gosh. And he's coming out with the mask, just rubbing it in.
With the mask. I just got to say it. What happened in the main event?
From Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Dylan
As if we didn't know who it was behind the mask,
Yeah,
Mike Rowe.
Had to let Mike Rome do his job there, but as I was going to say, what happened in the main event at Mortal Kombat last week, it was BS. Like, I just can't say it enough. Dylan Young, I had my respect for you, but what you did last week was just completely uncalled for. Like I said in that promo at the beginning of the show, if you wanted a title opportunity, if you wanted to get a rematch at the Tri-Wizard Championship, I would have been more than happy to give it to you. You know I'm always game for that kind of challenge, but what happened was just completely unacceptable.
Every single one of the people that were inside that elimination chamber, except for yourself by proxy of you being the champion, had to earn their way in through qualifying matches, whether it be a one-on-one or several of them had to go through triple threats. Jack Sparrow was one of them. Had to defeat 2 other opponents to get a shot there, had it taken away, and William looking to take the early win here, not able to do so as Dylan kicks out at 1. And obviously, you know, maybe the frustration here for Dylan Young is the fact that his PLE luck has not been all that great. He's lost the Tri-Wizard Championship in 3 PLEs. He's been able to gain it back here, a 3-time Tri-Wizard champion, but it almost kind of seemed like the message was clear that after he lost the title to you at Saturday Night Springfield, he was going to do everything in his power to make sure that you didn't walk into Paramount as a double champ.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what he did. You know, I can't say that didn't throw my game off because I was the first one out of the chamber, but just completely unacceptable, crossed way too many lines. Like I said, I had respect for this guy, I really did. And I know that at some point down the line, he and I are going to meet up again for another match.
William able to kick out here at 1. Unfortunately, I'm not able to give everybody any type of an update here on Jack Sparrow as far as his health status. As a lot of what we saw in terms of the attack took place out in the parking lot. There is nothing out there that is not going to in some way inflict some type of injury. So we'll try and keep people updated here as we get news about Jack Sparrow, but right now just hoping that William Turner can dish out as much punishment, as much justice here on Dylan Young. And as you can see, the fighting here to the outside, Dylan with the arm bar locked in on Will Turner, no disqualification, so they could fight all over this arena if they so chose.
Dylan, you got a lot of balls coming near this announce table right now, I'm just saying it. Trying to gain control of this matchup ringside, tossing Turner into the steel steps. You know, like you said, it's going to be pretty difficult for us to call this one down the middle, but we'll do our best. Nice kick there.
And let's talk about this too. Let's talk about Jack Sparrow and what he's been able to do for the industry, not just for himself. Formulated this Black Pearl crew, and look at the run that Elizabeth Swan has been on. Multi-time hardcore champion, currently holds the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy, has successfully defended it in multiple title defenses. If not for Jack Sparrow bringing her in, we would not have as dominant a women's champion as we've had.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, you got to give him credit there, even though you also have to give, you know, Elizabeth a lot of credit for maintaining the title as long as she has. As we have the submission attempt here on the inside, Dylan trying to go for some
get
kind
to
of...
the ropes. I don't know if they would cause a break here in the no disqualification match, but he's going to fight out of it.
I mean, this has just been back and forth. Dylan has the clear height advantage, but William Turner not paying any mind to that whatsoever. Irish whip, pretty slow one.
Oh my gosh, massive clothesline there by William Turner. Turns Dylan Young inside out. I'm not sure why he didn't go for the cover. Well, actually, no, I know why he didn't go for the cover. It's not enough. And now shovel to the back. Now he'll go in for the cover. Clearly you can see the arm is underneath the rope, so it doesn't look like rope breaks here in a no disqualification match, but a kick out by Dylan at 1.
You got to think, too, about the anger inside of William Turner as well for this matchup. That was his faction leader, Jack Sparrow, being taken out. So he's probably furious right now that he is in this situation. He's standing up right now, doing a great job standing up for his faction partner.
And I don't know about the guts or the foolishness of Dylan Young earlier as well, coming out wearing the mask that he tried to hide his identity with when he attacked Jack Sparrow, wore it out here to ringside. You've got William Turner ticked off enough, that just fuels the fire.
Absolutely, and I mean, like you said, I don't know if it might have been guts the first time around, but now it's definitely foolishness. Now we know for sure it's him. Every time we see that mask, we're going to see that thing, and we know exactly who it is.
Well, that over 6-foot frame from the top rope delivering a massive axe handle, and now nice suplex there from Dylan Young, takes William Turner down. Again, no holds barred, so referee will not be administering any type of a count. Oh man, almost a brainbuster suplex there by Dylan.
Only rule is that the pinfall or submission has to take place inside the ring. Other than that, anything goes.
Something
Hockey
I've
stick
noticed,
now.
he keeps making his way over here, makes no eye contact with you.
I mean, he's focused on his match right now, as he should be, but
William turns it around there after Dylan tried to administer a hockey stick into this. And now William, small package suplex of his own, right on that neck region of Dylan Young, and now the knee.
Seth, I'll just put it this way. I have my match at Paramount. I'm going to focus on that, but I've said it before. I said what I had to say at the start of the show. We're going to have our rematch at some point down the line. And I do not care whether the title's on the line.
Of course, talking about Paramount, there is another suplex by William Turner. We know that you're defending the Tri-Wizard Championship against Ernie the Elf. We know that Elizabeth Swan, who we talked about earlier, she's defending the Women's World title against Mulan. We're still determining the #1 contenders for the women's tag team titles. Those will be defended at Paramount. Mentioned that Saturday night, FWE Extra, we're determining the #1 contender for the United States Championship, and I've just been told that that will determine who's going to Paramount in that matchup as Dylan Young. Shot there to the back with the baseball bat by Dylan, and now another suplex. Slowly starting to build that card towards the Showcase of the Immortals.
That we are. I'm looking forward to it still. It'll be quite interesting to see who these #1 contenders become. All the titles on the line. You know,
Dylan with an armbar. Doesn't look like this is a submission here. You'll see referee Ernest Wright getting down there asking Will if he wants to give up. Kind of a wear-down submission in a way. Not going to put William out that way, but oh, another snap suplex. See Dylan Young busted open there. Looks like maybe the cheek is now a jawbreaker by Will Turner.
Irish whip.
Into the swinging neck breaker. Cover in. Is William gonna get a little pirate justice here? Dylan with a kick out at 2.
Man, he was so close to putting Dylan away. I feel like the justice is due at this point. Going for another wear-out submission right there of his own is Will Turner.
I hope somewhere Jack Sparrow is watching this. As here we go, looking in for the crossface. Crossface locked in. Is Dylan gonna tap? Is Dylan cinched in? It's cinched in deep, and Dylan taps out. Will Turner gets a little redemption tonight for the crew.
Justice has been served.
Here is your winner, William Turner.
Well, Jack Sparrow, if you're watching, that one was for you. Kudos to you, man. Will Turner looking over here. Well done to him, standing up for our fallen comrade as he takes Dylan Young down tonight in our main event. But I feel like the chapter between you and Dylan may not be over.
It is not. We're going to have a lot to look forward to in the future. We'll definitely revisit this again soon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. Saturday night, FWE Extra. Next Thursday night, we continue on the road to Paramount. Good night from the Fantasy Dome.